just off exit 120 of the North-South Expressway, nestled between the hills of Hulu Selangor, lies a place that once held the weight of 1,000 dreams. Lembah Beringin. The name once meant Valley of Beringin Trees, a symbol of shelter, of growth. Today it meant something else. In the early 1990s, this valley was chosen to become Malaysia's next great township, a green concept development, a self-sustained paradise. The ads played Louis Armstrong's "What a Beautiful World," and for a brief moment, it was. Launched in 1993 by Lembah Beringin Holdings Sdn Bhd, the township was more than a housing project, it was a vision. Over 2,000 homes were planned, bungalows with private orchard, semi-D with sweeping driveway, terrace home for young families. The developers envisioned a vibrant green township anchored by a golf course, a prestigious college, and even the possibility of KLIA being built nearby. The total investment? 2.2 billion ringgit, a staggering sum that reflected the scale of ambition. Investors rushed in, families signed up, the valley stirred with anticipation. It was marked as a utopia where nature meets modernity, where community thrive. Brochures promised scenery, billboards showed smiling families, and the land itself, lush, quiet, full of potential, seems to agree. But the dreams, like economics, are fragile. In 1997, the Asian financial crisis swept through Southeast Asia. Properties value collapsed. KLIA was built in Sepang, not Hulu Selangor. The scaffolding of hope began to buckle. By the early 2000s, Lembah Beringin Holdings Sdn Bhd was liquidated. Construction halted. Over 1,000 homes stood incomplete. In 2001, the government officially declared the township abandoned, and so the silence began. I know some of you watching may have personal ties to this place. Maybe your family brought a unit here. Maybe you visited during the early days where the roads were still new and the dreams still alive. If you have a story about Lembah Beringin, I'd love to hear it. Drop a comments below. What did this place mean to you? What did it promise? And what did it leave behind? Drive through Lembah Beringin today and you feel it. Not just the absence of sound, but the presence of something else. Rows of empty houses stretch across 6,800 acres. Cambodia trees line the roads, flowers often planted in graveyards. The toll plaza still stands, but the booths are empty. The golf course shut down during pandemic. Nature is reclaiming what concrete once claimed, and yet not everything died. College Yayasan UEM still stands, a lone beacon of continuity. A primary school was built in 2012, a surau, a water pipeline. Some families move in, drawn by low property prices. 50,000 ringgit for a terrace house. They planted gardens, held kanduris, tried to build community from the ruins. Many live in isolation. Their neighbors are empty homes. Their streets are quiet. Their children ask why the playgrounds are rusted, why the shops never open. Behind every abandoned houses, there's a story. A couple who once saved for years only to lose everything. A retiree who still visits the site of his would-be home. a young man who grew up in KYUEM, watching the town decay around him. These stories aren't just economics, they are emotional, psychological, human, and they deserve to be remembered. Lembah Beringin has become a canvas of urban explorers, photographers, and storytellers. They come to document the decay, cracked walls, overgrowing driveway, a swing set that never sung, the surreal beauty of a town frozen in time. But for those who live here, it's not art, it's reality. Still, there is resilience, community gardens, small events, talks of revitalization. Some residents have started WhatsApp groups to share updates, organize cleanups, and keep hope alive. Others quietly tend to their homes, knowing the silence may never leave. So what happened? Was it just the economy? Or was the blueprint flawed from the start? Lembah Beringin was built on speculation, the promise of KLIA nearby, the assumption that highways alone would bring life. But infrastructure without people is just scaffolding. There were no commercial anchors, no employment hubs, no real reason for families to stay. And when the crisis hit, the dream has no foundation. Urban planning isn't just about roads and roofs, it's about rhythm, about community, about time. And here, time stood still. Lembah Beringin is more than a failed development, it's a cautionary tale, a mirror held up to Malaysians' urban ambition. A reminder that progress without people is just architecture. And yet, there is something hauntingly beautiful about it, because in its absence, Lembah Beringin speaks about hope, about loss, about the space we built and the ones we abandoned. As we exit 120 and rejoin the highway, the town fades into the rearview mirror. But its story stays with us, not as a ghost town, but as a living memory of dreams built, broken, and maybe one day reborn. If this story resonates with you, or if you ever walk these quiet streets yourself, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. And if you like to see more stories like this about places we forget and the people we shouldn't, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. It helps me keep documenting whatever matters, even when the world stops paying attention.